Hello everyone. Please let me know if any one of you have joined the live session. If you can hear my voice, please write yes in the comment section. All right. Okay, thank you so much. So I think it's good to begin. There was a slight problem in the last link. Okay, so we will begin with this link as of now. Today's class will be a short class where we will try to complete two subtopics of the uh, first chapter itself. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'll be beginning with the class today, and the question that I had given to you in the last class, I'll be discussing the answer of that question in the next class. All right. A few of you have also submitted the your answers in the WhatsApp group. So I will go through it, and at the same time, I will also give you a feedback on your answers by the next class, where we'll be also discussing the model answer, what we can write in the answer. All right. So in the last class, as you know, we had covered sociology and political science, its comparison, and sociology and anthropology. Okay. Today we are picking up two topics: sociology and philosophy, and sociology and psychology. Okay. These are also very important. Now you see that from chapter number 1, you will at least find 2 to 3 questions every year. And we are covering all the topics in great details, along with the notes have been provided to you. I am following almost all the sources available in the market, and I'm giving you the compilation of everything. Okay. So you need not worry about the notes at any point of time. If you need any other like extra points for any particular topic, you can always let me know. Okay. And let's now directly go into the topic of today's session. I welcome you all to Civil Service Achievers Point, and we'll be starting with sociology and its comparison with two subjects in today's class. All right. So the first topic that we'll be discussing is sociology and psychology. Okay. And let me share the screen with all of you. Good evening, everyone. Let me just share the screen with all of you. All right. So as you know that we have been discussing the first chapter of sociology for mains for both UPSC as well as APSC. And you can see that we have covered in great details. And chapter 1 is just almost about to end. It's just about to get completed. Okay. And we will be starting chapter number 2 very soon. But again, this I think this or one more lecture will be just uploaded for free of cost in the YouTube. For you to go through it, but from chapter number 2 it won't be uploaded in the YouTube channel. Okay, as I had promised in the beginning of this optional course, that chapter 1 will be provided for free of cost, and that is why we are uploading it, all the lectures, in the form of the demo session. But from chapter number 2 it won't be uploaded in the YouTube video YouTube channel of CSAP. Okay, if you want or if you have not taken the subscription for sociology optional, you can call the number given in the description box and you can take the subscription. All right, after the payment is done. So that was just a small information I had to give you. And at the same time, let me also tell you that on 27th of this month we have a very good motivational session on our Facebook page, which will be conducted live by Himadri Bora, Assistant Commissioner of Majuli. So do attend that session live in our Facebook page, that is CSAP. All right. So now let's move with today's chapter, that is sociology and psychology. Now, as you all know that we have been already discussing about the comparison of sociology with various other subjects like sociology and anthropology. We have discussed in the last class. All right, then we have discussed about sociology and political science, sociology, economics, sociology, history, and so on. Now, in today's class, we'll be discussing about sociology and psychology. And by now, I hope you have understood the fact that what can be a basic difference between sociology and any other subject. Okay, because this subject of social sciences, all the subjects are like subparts of sociology, because sociology is a very broad subject, and what we are discussing as of now is altogether the overall the scope of sociology when we are discussing it. Okay, so उसमें जब हम पूरा स्कोप डिस्कस करें ऑफ दिस एंटायर डिसिप्लिन ऑफ सब्जेक्ट दैट इज सोशियोलॉजी, वहां पे आप आपने अभी तक फील किया होगा कि सोशियोलॉजी का जो स्कोप है वो काफी ब्रॉडन अप है, काफी वो एनहांस्ड है एज कॉम्पेयर टू एनी अदर सोशल साइंस व्हेन वी कंपेयर. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर लास्ट क्लास का अगर आपने नहीं देखा है, प्लीज गो बैक टू द लास्ट वीडियो एंड चेक इट आउट. उसमें भी हमने बहुत डिटेल्स में बोला था, डिस्कस किया था आप लोगों के साथ कि सोशियोलॉजी एंड पॉल साइंस जब हमने डिस्कस किया, पॉलिटिकल साइंस का स्कोप जो है वो काफी नैरो है. Okay, but sociology, when it gives a political science perspective, it becomes again broadened up, and sociology is studying the human behavior in relation to all the dimensions. Okay, whether it is psychological dimension, whether it is philosophical dimension, or whether it is anthropological or political science or historical or economical, from all angles we see that sociology is interrelated with the other social sciences. Now, specifically when we talk about sociology and psychology, okay, now we should know that sociology as a distinct discipline had emerged, okay, by making itself different from other social science. Okay, for example, when sociology was evolving as a new subject, okay, during the time of industrial revolution, and mainly in the early part of 19th century, we all know that sociology was questioned by the philosophers, by the thinkers of other subjects, that if sociology is studying the suicide, okay, then your psychology or psychology will also say that we also study the individual. Okay, so what is the need of sociology as a new subject then? Okay, because in fact psychology will say that we study suicide and it is a subject matter of psychology, and sociology is also studying the same subject matter, that is suicide. Okay, so then what is the need of this new distinct discipline of subject, that is sociology? Okay, there is no requirement because psychology is already studying it. Or for example, when Karl Marx was studying the different class struggle of different historical societies, Karl Marx might be also questioned that why to frame a new subject, that is sociology? History is already doing it. Or similarly in political science, or similarly in philosophy, we'll see this. And this is why sociology had to be crafted in a different manner in order to discriminate itself from all other social sciences. Okay, so this was very, very essential, and this is where sociology emerged, okay, by developing the distinctions from different subjects like psychology. Okay, and this distinction with psychology was primarily given, I would like to tell you, was primarily given by Emile Durkheim. Okay, because in his study of suicide, what Emile Durkheim showed to the entire society was that prior to this study of suicide by Emile Durkheim, who is a very, very prominent sociologist of the initial time period, psychology was saying that suicide is an individual phenomena. All right, suicide is an individual phenomena. But Emile Durkheim had proved that suicide, how it is not an individual phenomena but a societal phenomena, how individuals are guided by the waves or different waves that we find in society, and how individuals are guided towards committing suicide. Okay, now the suicide study we will not discuss in details in this class, because while we'll be discussing Emile Durkheim, we'll be discussing at that time period. But this is to quote the example so that you understand that how psychology and sociology emerged as two distinct disciplines of subject. Okay, so if I ask you, like psychology, okay, it is often defined as a science of behavior. Okay, psychology is often discussed or defined as what? Science of behavior. Now it involves itself primarily with the individual, so this we know. Okay, now by this statement itself, I think you should be sure enough that sociology obviously it will be different from psychology, because sociology is not dealing with only individual, right? It is entirely dealing with the entire society, and where it is trying to find what? A pattern behind the behavior of the individuals. Okay, and that is what sociology is again broadened up as compared to psychology, because psychology will talk about the behavior of individual. Okay, it won't talk about the pattern or the social behavior which is same across different societies, whether it is in the case of suicide. Okay, so it is interested in his her intelligence and learning. Okay, so it is all, psychology is all interested in what, individual's intelligence and learning, okay, or the individual's nervous system, memory, motivations. So it is primarily focused on what, the individual setup. Okay, but sociology, okay, it is more of what, it is more of social groups collectively with other individuals. Okay, so sociology attempts to understand behavior as in a organized in society. That means it is trying to talk about the pattern. Okay, I'm not going into details because I've already explained to you about the pattern behavior in the previous classes. All right, so in this way in which personality is shaped by different aspects of society. Okay, so agar, for example, if I tell you that you are moving out, okay, while moving out from your house, okay, for example, for girls, if I tell you, okay, now you look at the mirror, okay, suppose you're going out, okay, or nowadays, in fact, in the virtual world, this has been also changed. You get ready, in fact, within the, like, when you are inside the house also, to make certain kind of reels to be posted in Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or so many other social platforms. So you get ready, right? So what are you doing when you are get ready? Okay, do you do certain things which you want to, like, which you want to do it, or you dress up in certain manner which the society asks you to do so? Okay, now again, obviously there will be some individual aspects also. Okay, some girls might dress up as they want, but what I'll tell you is that, if we try to generalize this concept of dressing up, okay, and that is like, that can be applicable for both men as well as women, okay, male and female, that you dress up as per the society wants you to get dressed up. All right, now what is this? This is a behavior which you are responding to the society's norms. All right, for example, and there are also a lot of, like the controlling agents within the society which also controls the behavior of the individual. Okay, now this is what sociology will study. Okay, but if you are talking about psychology, it will basically talk about the individual need. It will basically talk about a perspective from an individual domain. All right, so that is what the basic difference will be between sociology and psychology. Okay, and in sociology, the personality is shaped by different aspects of society. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, for instance, economic and political system, their family, kinship structure, their culture, norms and values. All right, now these are the different aspects of the society. Okay, economy will guide your behavior. Political system will also guide your behavior. Your family will determine, okay, your family will guide your behavior, that how you need to behave, how you need to behave, how you need to talk to your elders. Okay, when you move out of your house, how you need to walk. For example, this kind of socializations are always coming from different institutions of the society. Okay, and this is what sociology discuss or tries to deal with. But psychology will only discuss or deal with the individual phenomena. Okay, it will not talk about the cultural norms and the values that our culture is trying to promote. Okay, and it is interesting to recall that Durkheim, who sought to establish a clear scope and method of sociology in his well-known study of suicide, left out individual intentions of those who commit or try to commit suicide in favor of statistics concerning favor social characteristics of these individuals. So what is Durkheim trying to do? That he is ignoring the individual intentions. He is only focusing on what? Establishing the facts and figures, okay, where you can find a pattern. And how is he trying to determine a pattern in suicide? That if there is an SMS society, okay, and within SMS society, he will try to form an age group, suppose within the youths, okay, and he will find a pattern, very beautiful pattern, and he will prove that the society sitting above is guiding these youths to commit suicide. Okay, and there is a particular rate of suicide in this society which we can compare again with a different society. Okay, and also the society of that society is guiding up the youths to commit suicide in that same particular rate of suicide, for example. All right, but psychologists will get shocked to say this. They will say, no, suicide is an individual phenomena. Suicide is a phenomena because someone commits suicide because of depression, because of anxiety, because of failure in life. Okay, the society. But Durkheim will say, okay, a particular person failed in an exam, But why did he or she had to commit suicide? Because society is sitting above, society is guiding it, and society is saying that if you do not clear this exam, okay, then your status will be low, everyone will question your credibility, okay. And society is having a wave at the at the top level, and this wave is actually guiding the actions of the individuals, okay. And so there is no use of studying the individual mind. Durkheim will say like this: it is only about the sociological wave which is guiding the individuals, okay. And this is what the difference that we can talk about. But again, obviously, when you see that sociology is not only about the society's norms and values, because in the initial classes also I had told you that within sociology we have different differentiations, right? For example, when we talk about, and in fact when we were discussing about the evolution of sociology also in the scope chapter, okay, in the initial part, we saw that how Max Weber, when he came, okay, when he introduced a different form of sociology, again the formal school which we talked about, right, the micro sociology, where Max Weber also gave primary importance to the meanings and motives of individuals and not to the society's value system or the norms, right? And that is where Max Weber will go very close to psychology, but Durkheim is moving far away from your psychology, okay. So sociology, as I say, tell you that sociology and psychology is different in this aspect, but according to some other thinkers, again sociology and psychology may come very close. For example, Max Weber, when we discuss him, okay. So sociology, as we know, is what it's about. It talks about a combined behavior, the pattern, right? It tries to classify the societies or different organizations of the society, whether it is the economic organization or the political sense. So I've already told you all these things, right? And sociology will then try to discuss about the evolutions, which you have seen, like Karl Marx trying to do it, okay. And individual, and the individuals are being studied by what? Psychology, okay. But when psychology is trying to study the individuals, they try to study the individual mind in what? In a very isolated manner. Now, this is what you need to remember, okay? Psychology will study the individual mind in an isolated manner, okay? But this is where, again, Max Weber also will move away from psychology, because Max Weber will also not agree this, because Max Weber will also, though he will study the individual's mind, or the meanings and motives behind a social action done by a social agent, that is an individual of the society, but Max Weber will also say, or will also try to talk about the interrelation between this individual behavior and the society's behavior, okay. But psychology studies the individual mindset in a very isolated manner, all right. But so sociology will not do that, okay. And we have understood this, okay. So psychology and sociology go hand in hand. We can also say this: they are both the scientific study of people. Again, this is a similarity between psychology and sociology, because by now I think you have understood that sociology, when we talk about sociology, okay, we and more so we'll discuss in chapter 2, okay, from the next to next class, when we'll start with chapter 2, okay, in our application, that is CSAP app, which is available both in Play Store as well as an app store. So there, when we'll discuss chapter 2, we'll see that how sociology evolved as science, okay, how sociology is close to natural science, okay. So here, when we are talking about this, okay, in fact psychology also studies the individual mindset in a very scientific manner, okay. So this is where again sociology and psychology is coming close, okay. It is going hand in hand, all right. The primary distinguishing mark of psychology is that it is a study of mind of the individual or small group over a large society or culture. So you're trying to see that psychology is studying the micro aspect, okay. So your formal school of sociology, okay, will be close to. Now this is how you should write your answers, okay. You should mention formal school. We have already studied this in the initial classes which are available in YouTube, okay. So you should write that formal school will go more close, but the synthetic school will obviously move far away, okay. So synthetic school will say what? That there is no relation between sociology and psychology. You should write down this point, okay. You should write down this point, that what will formal school of sociology say? That sociology and psychology go hand in hand, all right, because they are scientific, okay. They are studying about a small group, okay. In fact, the same formal school, or that is of interpretative school of sociology, that is followed by Max Weber, is also doing the same thing, right? But if we talk about a synthetic school of sociology, it will say that sociology and psychology has no relation. Okay, there is no relation between sociology and psychology. All right, so I hope you have understood this. Okay, so you can see here sociology looks beyond individuals and examines societies through the specific lenses or associations. Okay, so I hope by now you have understood this phenomenon. We have talked about this a lot of times. Okay, then again this paragraph will talk about Durkheim and his study of suicide, and again Max Weber. Okay, Durkheim will take sociology and psychology far away, and Max Weber and bring sociology and psychology close together. Okay, through their different studies. All right, so apart from that, if you see some of the differences between sociology and psychology, again you come here because you have to write this kind of points in your answer. Sociology is a science of society, but psychology is a science of mind. Okay, sociology, scope of sociology is wide, obviously. Now this should be a common sense for you. We have repeated this n number of times. All right, whereas scope of psychology is obviously limited because it only studies the human mind. Okay, but sociology will study so many things. I told you, I gave you an example. I gave you a question in the last class talk to asking you to discuss about the changing nature of the scope of sociology, right? There you can even talk about sociology and health. Okay, because of COVID-19. Okay, because of impact of a virus like COVID on the society. Are you getting it? Now sociologists will study that. In fact, it has been already studied in the last century also. So this is how your scope of sociology is also already widening up. But psychology will not come and do this. Okay, their scope is always very limited. Or in fact, political science will also, at max, what political science will do, they will study about that, about the COVID and impact on policies. Okay, or at max they can study that. But society will study everything from all angles, from all different perspectives. Okay, that is why sociology, the scope of sociology is very wide, and it will always keep on getting enhanced. All right, so society is the unit of study in sociology. We know this. Now this should be a common sense by now. We have repeated this almost with every subject while comparing it with sociology. But individual is the unit of study in the case of psychology. All right, so just excuse me for 1 second. I'm getting an important call. I'll just take 30 seconds. Okay, just be there. All right, so let's move back again to the topic that we were discussing. So this is what the difference between sociology and psychology, and I hope you have understood this, right? Please tell me yes in the comment section if you found this topic very easy by now. All right, please do write yes in the comment section. Sociology studies social processes, okay, while psychology studies mental processes. Now this is again a difference. This is very easy to understand. Sociology studies and analyzes human behavior from sociological angle, whereas psychology studies analyzes human behavior from a psychological angle. All right, so this is again I think there is nothing much to explain. All right, now if someone is watching this video for the first time, I recommend you to go back and first watch the five other videos that have been already uploaded in the YouTube channel. First watch those videos and then come to this video. Okay, and then your understanding will be developed in a more comprehensive manner. All right, thank you everyone, those who have commented in the comment section. So the study of individual behavior and mental process is part of psychology. So now see, these lines are getting repeated. Okay, so you just pick up 2-3 lines and you can keep it ready for your answers to be written. Okay, the field is concerned with such as motivation, perception, cognition, creativity, mental disorders, and personality. Now you see, these are all individual phenomena. Okay, creativity, it is of an individual. Mental disorder of an individual. So what psychology is trying to study is all about this individual phenomena. Okay, more than any other social science, psychology uses laboratory experiments also, and this is where actually sociology failed, and sociology went far away from natural science in this phenomena, because you cannot study a society inside a lab. All right, psychology and sociology overlap in subdivision of each field known as social psychology. As we discussed about social anthropology in the last class, so there is always a overlapping. Are you getting it? Because I had shown you a diagram in the initial class that when we keep sociology in the top, okay, and we draw a circle here like dividing all the subjects like this. Okay, so there is always a overlapping. Okay, this portion, if we call it a psychology, so this is overlapping with sociology. Okay, so there is always an overlapping portion. All right, and that then we can call that overlapping portion of psychology as what? Social psychology. The study of human behavior is influenced and shaped by various social situations, and that is what, in fact, Durkheim talked about. Okay, that your all the human behavior, even if you're moving out of your home, okay, or if you're moving out and talking to a stranger, your society will guide you how to talk to a stranger. Okay, or if you go to a classroom, your society will guide you how to behave in a classroom. But if you go out with your friends, okay, then you behave in a certain another manner. You don't behave the same manner when you are in a school or you are in a formal organization. Okay, but who has taught you to behave in this particular manner? Can't we see a pattern behavior, but development of a pattern behavior among all individuals? So this is what is sociology, okay, about the social behavior. But psychology will not try to say this. Okay, but when we discuss about social psychology, again, it will, sociology and psychology will both come together. Okay, will go hand in hand, and the psychology will also admit that human behavior is influenced and shaped by various social situations. Social psychologists study such issues on how individuals in a group solve problems and reach a consensus, or what factors might produce non-conformity in a group situation. Okay, for example, if you are in a group, okay, and if you are not behaving the same manner as the entire group is behaving, that means you are a deviant or a non-conformist. Okay, then social psychologists will study that what are the factors which is leading to this individual in order to like deviate from the group. For example, let me tell you that suppose you work in an organization, okay, in a government organization, and there is a rule from the government that you all should wear formals. Okay, you should all wear formals when you are at office. Okay, but you'll always find 2-3 persons who will not come in formals, but they will wear jeans, okay, or they will wear, suppose, some casual clothes. Okay, now social psychologists will study this behavior, that what factors are those factors which is guiding this to 2-3, but it will be always a minority group, because maximum will follow the norm, okay, that they are being asked. For example, even in college, okay, even in college, if you do not have, for example, Cotton University did not used to have a uniform earlier. Okay, so there you can wear anything that you want, right? But again, there was always an instruction from the university side that you should always wear formal. Okay, but there will be always a few students who will not come and wear formal. Okay, they are considered as a deviant. Now social psychologists will try to study this behavior. Okay, so by now I hope you have understood that sociology and psychology will go hand in hand, okay, at one point, and that is what we'll call as socio psychology. Okay, and psychology is a science of behavior, focus on individual, and social psychology is behavior in a group. Okay, behavior of an individual in a group. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Now these are some of the thinkers of sociology who have used sociology and psychology, okay, in trying to bring together. Okay, and there is a reference of psychology within sociology. Okay, so for example, Weber, I have repeated this time multiple times, okay, like importance to meanings attached by the actor. For example, you are doing some activity. Now Weber will try to study that activity from the meanings and motives of that individual, and this is where again sociology and psychology comes together. Okay, then looking glass self, the example that I gave you. Okay, then when you go out of your house, you look at the mirror, okay, and then you dress up yourself as per others want you to see. Okay, maximum people don't dress up as the way they want to dress up. Okay, they will always be underconfident, but they will always feel good if someone comes and tell them that you are looking good. Okay, now what is that? So you dress up accordingly as others perspective. And who are others? It is a society. Okay, it is a society. For example, if you go to a temple, okay, and if you wear for example, if you wear shorts, okay, if girls wear shorts while going to a religious place, okay, then in fact, in many religious places it is banned. Okay, wearing of shorts is banned. Or in fact, we have societies like we have Middle East societies like Qatar, okay, or some of the other Muslim societies, like in fact even in Dubai. Okay, so there are certain norms that women, which are very, very like restrictive in the form for women. Okay, you cannot even go out without wearing a burqa. Okay, so now these are all what even your dressing pattern is getting guided by the societal norms. Okay, so You look in the glass before moving out as per the norms that have been set out by the society. So this is what, again, but what will psychology say? That psychology is an individual studying about the individual phenomena, and it will say that so that person will move out as per like whatever he wants to wear or whatever she wants to wear. They will, but it is not like that. So sociology will not say like that. Sociology will say that they will wear something that will be guided, what the society will ask them to wear. Okay, and this is what the difference between sociology and psychology. All right, then again Parsons talk about the effective role of mother. And what is the effective role of mother? It is the emotional aspect. Okay, it is the emotional angle. Okay, the effective role of mother is the emotional angle. Now this is what is being discussed by Talcott Parsons. And what is emotion? Again, it is something psychological. Okay, and that is where again Parsons going close to psychology. Okay, who is a sociologist. And Durkheim, suicide not a psychological phenomena, social currents are causing deviance. Okay, social currents. So Durkheim is talking about social currents, or the waves that I had shown you. These are what? These are some certain social currents which are prevailing in the society, and this social currents is actually guiding the individuals like you and me in the society. Okay, so we are getting guided by the social currents. Okay, we are nothing, we are behaving as these social currents are guiding us to behave, and this is what is being talked by Durkheim. So Durkheim neglects the role of psychology in the as a field of discipline or subject. Okay, so these are some of the other examples you can use. Okay, otherwise this is what we need to talk about sociology and psychology in details. Okay, next we move ahead quickly to sociology and philosophy. Okay, we move ahead to sociology and philosophy quickly. Now again, this is also a very easy topic. Okay, and there is nothing much to discuss for sociology and philosophy, because you know that philosophy is a study of what? It is a study of general and fundamental problems, such as those connected with reality, existence, knowledge, values. Okay, then okay, there is a question. So is psychology guided by society? Okay, see, psychology will not study that aspect. Okay, psychology will study the individuals. All right, psychology will study what? It will study the individuals mind, individuals, what they think. Okay, its meanings and motives. Now when psychology will study the individual's behavior in a group. Okay, why? Because in a group, if an individual's behavior is getting guided by the society, then we'll call this psychology as what? Social psychology. Okay, what we discussed just few minutes back, we'll discuss this as what? Social psychology. Getting it? So then when we talk about social psychology, it will go hand in hand with sociology, and that is what we say, sociology and psychology go hand in hand. All right, otherwise psychology will study only the individuals and their problems and their meanings and motives attached to it. All right, okay, so I hope you have understood this. There is a small announcement that, as I had already told you, that today's class will be a short one. I'll continue the next class again tomorrow. Okay, really sorry for that, because I have a very urgent meeting starting from 7, and I have another class again from 8 o'clock, which will be live in YouTube channel. Okay, and I have to move out of my house for the meeting in 10 minutes, so I'll have to end here for today. Okay, I'll have to end here for today, and by tomorrow we'll complete chapter 1. Okay, what we are left out is last topics like sociology and philosophy, and the last topic is left out, that is your sociology and common sense. All right, so we'll have to end up here. My target was to take just 45 minutes, but 5 minutes is left, and we'll not be able to complete sociology and philosophy in the next 5 minutes. All right, I will need at least 10 to 15 minutes for minimum. Okay, and I'll not be able to manage my time for the meeting, so I'm just leaving the class right now. All right, I wish you all the best again, and let's meet back at 8 o'clock for the polity class again, which will be conducted live in the YouTube channel. Okay, till then, bye bye, and see you everyone at 8.